fellow crafters, and welcome. This is Sarah. Today we're bringing some radiance to our paper with this gorgeous Sunburst design. This is actually a throwback design of mine, and I'm super excited to finally offer it as a paper embroidery pattern. It looks absolutely stunning stitched with shimmering metallic thread, but it's just as beautiful using a classic cotton floss. In this tutorial, we'll cover everything you need to create this piece with confidence. We'll talk about how to tackle the project in 3 simple stages, my top tips for transferring the pattern onto dark paper, and my best trick for working with metallic thread so it's more fun and less frustrating. All the tools and the pattern itself will be linked for you in the description below. For this tutorial, we'll be using metallic thread. I know it can be a little tricky and it loves to twist and separate, but the sparkling result is so worth it. I'll share my tips to make it easy. But remember, you can absolutely stitch this with your favorite cotton embroidery floss. The effect is just as striking. I have a full video on transferring patterns, which I'll link for you if you want a more in-depth guide for this step. After piercing all the holes of the pattern, then you will trim to the final size. I'll go into the final step in more detail in a minute. But if you're enjoying these tips, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps. Now, before we thread our needle, here is the most important tip, especially if you're using dark paper. Take a few minutes to lightly connect the dots with the pencil and a ruler. This project has lots of straight lines radiating from the center, and it could get quite confusing very quickly. Creating these simple guides will save you a huge headache and prevent you from having to cut threads and restitching. Trust me on this one. Alright, let's talk about our game plan. We're going to tackle this in 3 stages to keep things organized. First, we'll embroider all the rays that start from the innermost circle. Then we'll move on to the rays that start from the second circle. And finally, we'll stitch the last rays from the outermost circle. Following this order is the key to a perfect sunburst. Okay, let's get started. We want a nice thick stitch, so this project calls for 12 strands of thread. To do that, simply take 6 strands of your floss, thread your needle, and then bring the 2 ends together. Tie a knot at the end, and you have 12 strands ready to go. Since I'm working with metallic floss, my secret weapon is a beading needle. The eye is nice and large, which makes threading all 6 strands much easier, and it helps prevent the thread from fraying. The key to working with metallic thread is patience. I know, you will see me struggle with this, but the key is to go slow and don't be afraid to let your needle dangle to let the thread untwist. If a stitch doesn't lay right, pull it out and do it again. Taking your time now will ensure that beautiful shimmering finish we're going for. As you can see, I'm starting with that first innermost circle of rays. Once you have this foundation established, the rest of the project will feel much easier. Normally I tie off my threads, but with these long stitches, we need to make sure that they stay taut. Plus, metallic thread is slippery and almost impossible to knot securely, so our best friend for this project is tape. You can use any kind, but I prefer painter's tape or masking tape because it's strong enough to hold, but gentle enough to remove it if you need to. This narrow width is perfect for keeping the back tidy. Now I'm just going to continue stitching, following our plan by moving to the second circle of rays and then the final outer circle. I'm using gold today, but just imagine the possibilities. This design looks incredible in silver and any other metallic shade you can think of. And there we have it, a beautiful radiant sunburst. If you like to add a professional finish by covering the back of your work, you can check out my video on that topic, linked below. Thank you so much for joining me today. All the tools, the pattern, and other videos I mentioned are in the description. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a like and subscribe for more paper embroidery projects. Until next time, happy stitching. Bye.